today I decided to clean. I had to make my bed. And of course, you have to take everything off your bed if you want to get anything underneath the bed. And I vacuumed everything and I found my guitars. I forgot. I mean, I remembered, but because I had a lot of things on my bed to have to lift it up and get everything out, I just remembered, look at this. This is gigantic. Black Beauty, baby. I haven't played the guitar in a million years. Okay, maybe, I don't know, 10 years maybe? But anyways. Still sounds great. So I was gonna see if I could remember any of my songs. Grandpa, just what kind of garden did you grow? Do you remember well what kind of seeds you sowed? Loving guidance, correction, or anger and wrath? Do you remember well what kind of words you had? I'm not breathing very well here. Others are merely mirrors of you. The answers you need lie inside of you. Oops. Go to the tree and look at the fruit. Is it sweet or is it bitter? Let's see, how does the rest go? My nails are too long. Let me see, how's it go? Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember how it goes. Ground that's hard is not good for pulling weeds. Cut them off from the top, and the bitterness scatters seeds. Give the parched land water and soften the hearts. Call on the master gardener and let him do his part. Grandpa, just what kind of garden did you grow? Do you remember well what kind of seeds you sowed? Loving guidance, correction, or anger and wrath? Do you remember well what kind of words you had? Others are merely mirrors of you. The answers you need lie inside of you. Go to the tree and look at the fruit. Is it sweet or is it bitter? I think they're sweet, but sometimes bitter. That was one of my songs called Mirrors of You. And I saw a poem about that, Mirrors of You. And I thought about my grandfather, how he was a gardener and he had a lot of children and he was disconnected emotionally from the kids. But I mean, he had feelings, of course, you know. He'd always say, they're so stupid, they're so stupid. He'd get so mad at his kids. And they would leave. And then he'd just, you know, go about in his garden. And I, as a little girl, would go in the garden. And I didn't have a dad, so I hung around him. And I really loved my grandfather. But he was kind of emotionally unavailable, you know. He was keeping his distance. But he would show me stuff in the garden all the time about the hard dirt and how you need to water it so it'll be softer. If you're going to be pulling out weeds, you want to pull them from the roots. You don't want to just cut them off the top because the roots get deeper. And as I was taking psychology in the college, I thought about the kids, his kids. Excuse me for my throat. And, you know, they were bitter. They're sweet, but they're bitter, you know, about how they were, I don't know, treated, raised, not communicated properly. Sometimes people, especially if they are young and they start a family, they might not have the skills of parenting. And I know for me, you know, getting married at 19 and then starting having kids at 23, I only had 2. But those kids were kind of like the first kids that I ever, you know, took care of and stuff. I mean, I had a few babysitting jobs, but just a little bit. It was kind of scary. Those kids. And, you know, sometimes when the kids are your age, when, you know, something maybe devastating could have happened to you at that age, and your kids get that age, it's funny. It's like, I don't know if it's like a trauma or something, or it just triggers you, or, you know, and there's a lot of people who maybe they have their kids and they want to enroll them in all the things that they didn't get to do or the things that they did do. But those kids have their own life, you know. Not all the time that kids are going to want to do the same things that you did, right? I mean, I have daughters. They're both singers. They're both songwriters. And they have totally different style of music than I do with I love their music. It's beautiful. I just like the sound. I know I'm staying on the same chord. It just sounds so cool, you know? I love instruments and I love music. And oh man, I don't have the calluses on my fingertips. Look at that. Oh, they're going to hurt tomorrow. Okay. You know, I stopped doing music for a while because I was thinking that if you have anything against somebody that's your brethren or something, you're supposed to leave your gift at the altar and you try to go and make amends with them. But I have a hard time trying to make amends with people who avoid and don't want to deal. So I just haven't done a lot of stuff. I haven't done any type of ministry with music or anything like that. It was because of that I ended up losing my house, going to a church, Grace Harvest Ministries in Moore Park. And they have false teaching there because they somehow don't think that God's law is good. The law of the Lord is good. They think that if they do anything, that that would be considered works. You know, if they correct anybody or church discipline or anything like that, they'd be doing something and then they'd be damned to hell if they corrected somebody who was doing something wrong, like stealing from someone or lying or cheating. It's so twisted and so backwards, it's ridiculous. And I'm not bearing false witness, I'm telling you the truth. This is the ideology that they think that the law, God's law, the Torah, the teaching, was nailed to the cross, and that Jesus doesn't want you to follow God's law because then you'll be under the curse of the law because you can't do it all. It's crazy, man. I'm just saying. That's called antinomianism. That's like without the law. That's called lawlessness, and that's wrong. So I guess if it's to be, it's up to me, right? If I have to teach the pastors in my area, because they've all been indoctrinated and inseminated at the cemetery schools, the school of the dead, the whitewashed tombs of dead men's bones. I didn't go to those schools, but I did go to the public schools and the universities, and I got my degrees, psychology, sociology, which is the study of groups of people. I got my art degree, my bachelor's in studio art. And I learned about media manipulation, and I learned about criminology by going to the church and getting stolen from. Because the number one rule of criminology is whoever has access to you can steal from you. So that means your own kids, they could steal from your purse or your credit card. Anybody who has access to you can steal from you. So that's why you always want to make sure that whatever you hear, that you're hearing the truth. And you can always verify that by asking more questions. But if you were brought up in some type of a culture that, you know, you're not allowed to ask questions because that's being nosy, then you're going to have some obstacles that you have to overcome, like me. Yeah. They didn't really say children should be seen and not heard, but that was the feeling that you get in certain types of upbringings. And if you ask too many questions and they say, stop it, you're annoying, blah, blah, blah. But I did learn a lot, you know, when I went to school, and I learned about closed family systems. Look at Karma over there. She's so cute. She didn't know I played the guitar, or at least made noise on the guitar. I did my laundry today. Yeah, see over there? That's a big bedspread with a duvet cover. And boy, oh boy, is that hard to put on. Whoa. I don't want to get it dirty outside. And then I have to, you know, how am I going to do all that? It's so hard. Trying to make the bed was difficult. But by doing that chore, I literally lifted up the bed, got my guitar out, and I think I'm going to start doing more. There was a song that I remember seeing on my computer earlier today. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to change it a little bit, change and tweak the names a little bit. So I don't know. I haven't even practiced. This is the first time in like 10 years that I gotten the guitar out. So I don't even know if I can do it. I mean, I memorized that other song. I had that in me, but it was funny because I got some lame prophecy again, you know, about me saying, oh, you will love again and you're Jesus's princess. I'm like, What? That sounds so weird. I don't like that. So I kind of mockingly made a song, Jesus, I'm your princess, and you're going to take me to the ball. Because that's what that lady, Deborah Powell, the lying prophetess, was speaking over me. And I can say that because, I mean, if you look biblically, sorry to break the news to you, but marriage is for life. It's a covenant till death do us part. And for her to even say that I could get married again or love again, I'm sorry, but show me in the Bible where it says that we're supposed to be walking by the lusts of the flesh. Because as far as I know, Yahusha, that's Jesus's name. Yahusha, Yeshua, I call him Yahusha, but he says, you know, if your spouse that you made a covenant with, if you put them away, you divorce them, there is no provision for remarriage, sorry to say. Now, I know some people will go back to some Old Testament reading where it says, oh, yeah, if he puts her away, you can give her a certificate of divorce and she can remarry whoever she wants. Well, okay, that's like if you were betrothed to a woman and then, you know, you had that wedding night thing and he's going to accuse her of being unclean or what have you. That's when that can happen. It's not new every two, it's not, you know, every 20 years, every 40 years, you can pick a new wife. And it's not, you can have more than one either. I know some of you people think that you can have polygamy and more than one spouse, but no, that's sexual immorality. And we're not supposed to be operating like that. We're supposed to walk in the spirit and will not fulfill the lusts of the flesh. And I know some of you are going to say, oh, it's going to say in the last days, you know, something about, you know, that you. No. Write down in the comments if you want. There's no provision for remarriage. Now, if you were a widow or a widower, then you can remarry. That's the only way. It's supposed to be kind of like the animal kingdom where they mate for life, you know, at least some of those. But doesn't that make more sense? I mean, come on, isn't that kind of crazy? Look at what it says in certain, was it the book of Ezra? Look up that. Why did the prophet tell those men who put away their wives and got other pagan wives, said to get rid of their wives and the children that they had and go back to their wives? And they did. Why would that have happened? Yeah. Because they had the conviction. So I don't know if you go into some church and they're just saying that you can shack up and marry, remarry, new every two and all that type of stuff. No, that's wrong. I'm sorry. That's called adultery. That's not good news. No, no, no. So, I mean, look at why would God divorce Israel and then say, come back to me? Why would he use like Hosea, a prophet, that go and marry a prostitute? This is how you guys are. That's how you are. But you need to come back to me. And that's kind of how, I don't know. There's something about defiling the land. If you take somebody back, something, then, I don't know that I could do that. I'm just saying. But Paul the Apostle, he says, you know, if the unbeliever departs, let him depart. Brother or sister is not in bondage to that. And you should be like me, he says. He, you know, apparently he must have been married and then something happened. I don't know, but because I think in order to be a Pharisee, you had to be married or something like that. I don't know everything. I wish I did. But Yahusha definitely said, you know, hey lady, you've had like 5 wives or 5 husbands, and the guy that you're with now, he's not even your husband. You know, go and sin no more. What does that mean? She's sinning, huh? Well, go and sin no more. I'm just saying. Look at Paul the Apostle. Hey, You know, he says, some of you will not, you know, accept this, but there's gifts. Thank God. So I'm just saying, I really like the sound. Maybe you might think it's annoying, but it's kind of comforting to me. But anyways, I'm kind of glad I got this guitar out. And I'm glad I made my bed because I'm going to sleep in it. So it's springtime. Maybe it's summer. Is it the summer yet? Could be, but I did this spring cleaning today. Boy, I did a lot of stuff. Dusting, vacuuming, cooking, cleaning, laundry, everything. And you know what? Sometimes we have to do that in here too, and in our heart and in our mind too. We need to clean the things up there. Get ready. We have to get ready, be prepared. We're supposed to be like the bride, you know. We're supposed to be the bride, and we're supposed to be cleaning up ourselves and getting ourselves ready and ourselves prepared. No one's going to do it for you. You got to do it yourself. So if there's some things inside your heart and in your mind that you need to get clear, you know, you can always look in the Bible. Like I said, go on that blueletterbible.org. Just put in a word. Put in the word divorce. Put in Christmas. You're not going to find it. Put in globe. You're not going to find it. Circle. Put in the word circle. Circle of the earth is chug, is the circuit of the stars in the heavens. It's not landmass. So understand. Gotta cut my nails because it's hard to do this. And I get my calluses back too. Grandpa, just what kind of garden did you grow? Do you remember well what kind of seeds you sowed? Loving guidance, correction, or anger and wrath? Do you remember well what kind of words you had? Others are merely mirrors of you. The answers you need lie inside of you. Go to the tree and look at the fruit. Is it sweet or is it bitter? Ground that's hard is not good for pulling weeds. Cut them off from the top, and the bitterness scatters seeds. Give the parched land water and soften the hearts. Call on the master gardener and let him do his part. Grandpa, just what kind of garden did you grow? Do you remember well what kind of seeds you sowed? Loving guidance, correction, or anger and wrath? Do you remember well what kind of words you had? Others are merely mirrors of you. The answers you need lie inside of you. Go to the tree and look at the fruit. Where are the trees? Is it sweet or is it bitter? I think you're sweet, but sometimes bitter. Check your fruit. See if it's sweet or if it's bitter. Get some water, the washing of the water of the word. It's going to cleanse you from all your iniquity, from all your sin, from the transgressing of God's law. We have to check ourselves. We need to clean ourselves. Time to take a shower.